Well, hello there everybody, welcome to FMBase. I'm Dodgee Gamer, and I'm here to run down 6 out-of-the-box saves to get you started with Football Manager 2020. And when I say out of the box, I mean 2 things. Out of the box, like thinking out of the box, so different to your usual let's win everything with Man City kind of save, and out of the box as in get saves that you can set up and start playing on release day for Football Manager 2020. Long-term play is very much a theme of the updates announced so far, and each of these challenges really dig into that idea of setting up a save that's going to last you many seasons. And our first challenge option, this is an oldie but goodie, the small club to big club challenge. Basically, what you do is you choose any nation in the game and you load it down to its lowest playable level. You then go on holiday for a year. You go out into the world and discover yourself. After a year of game time has passed, so once we get to the 2020-21 season, the 2020-21 season, new teams are going to come into the bottom playable level of that particular league. So taking England as an example, that would be the Vanarama North and Vanarama South. You take over one of those newly playable teams, and your job is to then rise them up through the divisions to get to the top flight of that particular nation's system, win the title, and then go on to win the Champions League. This is definitely a long-term challenge, especially somewhere like England where you've got 6 tiers to work your way through. But it's also playable in other countries. I personally have done this in the Czech Republic, I've done it with a Turkish team, I've even done it with a Mexican team going on to win the CONCACAF Champions League. Definitely a long-term challenge there to really whet your appetite for the game. But maybe you fancy more of a multi-club challenge? Then try the Pentagon Challenge. The setup for this, you need to load a league from each of the continents available in the game. You start out unemployed and with no reputation. Your job is then, well, to find a job. You've then got to work your way up, jumping around from club to club, getting bigger and bigger jobs until you're in a position where you can win all 5 Champions Leagues available in the game. So that's the AFC Champions League in Asia, the CAF Champions League of Africa, the Copa Libertadores, the CONCACAF Champions League, and of course, the UEFA Champions League. You don't have to do them in any particular order, but I've always found finishing with the UEFA Champions League is a particular sweet point. This is definitely a long-term challenge. Personally, I did this on Football Manager 2015, and because I wanted to complete this challenge, I bought, but then never played, Football Manager 2016 and Football Manager 2017, because it took me 2.5 years. Also, many of these continents have secondary trophies. We've got the Europa League in Europe, we've got the Copa Sudamericana, we've got the Confederations Cup in Africa, so you can add those into the mix, and the World Club Cup, and you've got yourself a nonagon challenge. Throw in all the international competitions as well, and you've got a multi-sided, diagonally logonogonal challenge. Did someone say international? Well, how about a challenge that involves both club and country? There are several clubs in the game that play outside their national league. This gives you access to nations that are otherwise unplayable. The most famous example of this being San Marino Calcio, who play in the Italian league system. This has been a popular challenge for many years amongst Football Manager players to take over that San Marino Calcio, or Calcio, that San Marinese team, and try to take them up to Serie A, build up the club, get some quality youth talent coming through the system, and then try to do something with the San Marino national team. Now sadly, San Marino Calcio have fallen on hard times and are no longer in a playable league in the game. There are, however, other options. FC Vaduz of Liechtenstein play in the Swiss Challenge League, so it's possible with them to take them up to the top flight of Swiss football through the Liechtensteiner Cup. You can get them into the Europa League, and then you can get them into the Champions League, and you can build them up. All very simple. We also have Canadian clubs in the MLS, so an opportunity to build up that great nation of Canada and turn them into a football global powerhouse. And newly available this year, and this is my planned long-term FM20 save, Andorra. Andorra have purchased their way into the Spanish Segunda B. They're going to be there playable in the game, so that's going to be a great challenge, I think, to take over FC Andorra, try to take them to La Liga, and try to produce enough quality regens to make Andorra a force to reckon with. Sticking with the idea of small nations, here's a challenge that takes the idea of international football to the next level. The International Manager of Mystery. Basically, you take over the bottom-ranked nation in the world when the game begins. In Football Manager 2019, for example, this was East Timor. You then embark on a kind of journeyman save, going from nation to nation. There's no club management in this challenge, building your way up to bigger and bigger nations and trying to win those continental trophies and ultimately get to the World Cup. And it's definitely great fun. In fact, just to plug my own stuff, if you head over to the Dodgee Gamer channel, you'll find my Football Manager 2019 International Manager of Mystery Let's Play series. Link in the description. Now here's a one club challenge that can be done with just about any club, large or small. The Give Youth a Chance challenge. The concept is simple. You take over a club, any club, but from the day you take over, there's no transfers coming in, no loans coming in. You're just going to use the players that come up through your youth system. Basically, it's what Frank Lampard is doing at Chelsea in real life this season. Any players that are already at the club, you can't renew their contracts unless they're academy graduates. You then have to try and reach the pinnacle of the game, only using homegrown products. Each club you play this at presents a different challenge. Do it at one of the big teams in the Premier League or Barcelona, Real Madrid. You've got to ride the rough wave of that inevitable dip as your superstars run out of contract and you've just got 17 and 18-year-olds taking their place. Do it at a smaller club, maybe you'll be able to compete more, but then you've got the financial implications. I mean, getting all those youth upgrades is pretty expensive. And at any level, are you enough of a tactical mastermind to tweak your tactics to work with the players you've got? And finally, a multi-club challenge that's really out of the box. The ABC challenge. You've got to load a multitude of countries and you've got to choose your leagues very carefully. I'll get onto why in just a second. When you pick your first job, you have to pick a club starting with the letter A. For example, Accrington Stanley. You have to complete a full season of competitive football with them and then move on to a B team. For example, Bohemians. I mean, not a B team like one of those Spanish B teams, because, you know, that wouldn't be a team starting with B. Well, unless it's Barcelona B. Oh, this is getting complicated. Anyway, a team beginning with B. Complete a full season with them and move on to a team beginning with C. And so on and so forth, working your way through the letters of the alphabet from club to club. This is a massive challenge. It will take you minimum 26 seasons, 26 years of game time to complete until you finally get to that holy grail of a team starting with the letter Z. Good luck finding those clubs on Q and X. So there we have it, 6 out of the box save ideas for Football Manager 2020 to get you going on day one of the release. I hope that's given you some inspiration. Please do subscribe to FMBase, leave us a like, drop us a comment. What kind of challenges are you looking to do in Football Manager 2020? Please share those with us and don't forget to check out fmbase.co.uk for all the latest updates and announcements on Football Manager 2020. I'm Dodgee Gamer for FMBase. We'll see you again soon.